All right, good afternoon and welcome back to our channel Princess Seat. Today still remains the 27th of September 2025, and we have right on this platform this morning a comrade or an engagement, a kind of discussion that happened between the Reverend and this particular comrade concerning the Pioneer Fund disbursement and the UAAG grant release. I'm going to actually, it was spoken all in Yoruba, but I'm going to really explain to us the interpretation of everything that was said so that everyone can really be on the same page and understand what was said clearly concerning the release of the funds and the IMF officials that were being awaited. All right, so pay attention to this. Comrade, your time now.
Olúwa ni o, Olúwa ni o, Olúwa ni o. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Mo dúpẹ́ mo yí mo gbé ga. Mo ṣe kábíyèsí sí Elédùmarè. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Mo dúpẹ́. Mo máa ń kí gbogbo yín bàbá mi, màmá mi nílé aláyọ̀. Ilé olówó, ilé ọlá. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Ilé mílíọ̀nìà, bílíọ̀nìà, tírílíọ̀nìà. Akúdùn akújímọ̀ ni, ṣàlàfíà ni. Mo kọ́kọ́ fẹ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run fún ààbò rẹ̀, fún àánú rẹ̀, fún gbogbo tó ń ṣe. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run torí pé ó ti gbàdúrà nínú grand ecosystem. Ó tún á ń dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín bàbá màmá tá a sọ tẹ́ ẹ wí, tá a sọ tẹ́ ẹ bá ṣe àní kò ní sí laxation lónìí. So mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo wa pátápátá káàfàtà. Laxation àmọ́ lóore torí pé tẹ́ ẹ bá subscribe àní débì kankan bá a ṣe ń dún l'Àbújá tá à ń dún l'Èkó tá à ń dún káàkiri. Olúwa ni o. Gẹ́gẹ́ mo yẹ sọ, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo wa, ẹ má bínú kọ́ọ̀lù wọlé ni. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo wa nítorí pé tẹ́ ẹ bá subscribe kò ní sí laxation. So straight to the point. Mo ti bá reference sọ̀rọ̀, mo ṣe bá reference kò pẹ́ tí mo bá reference sọ̀rọ̀ tó ń sìn and bó bá ṣe rí màá ṣe sọ. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí it was gẹ́gẹ́ bó ṣe sọ fún wa tẹ́lẹ̀ pé àwọn tá à ń retí láti Switzerland Disbursement Committee àná ni wọ́n gbéra, so ẹ má ṣe ṣèbínú. Ẹ ṣe rí grand ecosystem téèyàn bá ṣọ́ra ẹni tó bá sòótọ́ yóò di onírọ́ torí pé information counter information here and there. But ó ní mo ṣe rí pé mo pe reverend lónìí láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ torí àárọ̀ báyìí wọ́n máa rí wọn mú call card kì í ṣe WhatsApp láti fi bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ dáadáa tó dẹ̀ ṣàlàyé. So wọ́n nígbà káwọn ẹ̀kọ́ tó board plane lánàá ni wọ́n pè, and Switzerland there nothing but is 12 hours journey, 12 to 15 hours. So by calculation àárọ̀ náà gbéra wọ́n ti dé. Lọ́dọ́bà dẹ̀ ti dé, they will hit the ground rolling as this morning. So that is one. So ọpẹ́ ní fọ́lọ́run nìyẹn. Ẹ̀dẹ̀mọ̀ òyìnbó wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ ń Saturday. Then secondly, ẹjọ́ mo ti kọ́kọ́ sọ calculation wa both our tá subscribe heavily àti ìwọ̀nba capacity tá a ní ọpẹ́ ní fọ́lọ́run. Wọ́n máa slash owó yìí tẹ́lẹ̀ mo ń try láti waive but ìgbà tí mo ti gbọ́ látẹnu reverend mo gbọ́dọ̀ sọ fún wa. So ẹjọ́ gbogbo calculation tá a bá ní lọ́wọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe pause. So bá àwọn tá invest heavily congratulations. Capacity tá a ní náà congratulations. Wọ́n máa gé ìdí rèé ìgbà tí wọ́n unlock kóòtù ọ̀fun ní last week tí wọ́n unlock the first one, the second one, the third one. Ìjọba ṣe rí owó yẹn wọ́n mú wọ́n unlock ẹ̀tàn ó dà pé ó ṣì kò bí mẹ́rin márùn mẹ́fà so ọ̀ mẹ́ta tó unlock ìgbà tó fi kóòdù unlock àkáǹtì yẹn wọ́n ní ìjọba parí pé owó ti pọ̀ jù pé tó bá fi lè pump ẹ̀ sínú tó bá wà in circulation it will bring inflation. Ẹ mọ̀ torí pé ó ti pọ̀ jù, ó ní ìjọba ṣe yọ Pioneer tó fẹ́ ní olómàsán last káwọn èèyàn tó dìde Ọbásanjọ́ and co tí a fi fẹ́ gba Pioneer báyìí. So Pioneer àti grant ọ̀tọ̀ láyé wọn. So ẹjọ́ here and there tẹ́ bá listen sí vinote wọ́n ní without Pioneer no grant àwọn kan ní UAG. So màá clear láàárọ̀ nítorí ọ̀gá mi reverend ti clear fún mi. Òun ni wọ́n ṣe ní if agreement ni pé tó bá máa san they will reduce the money since that pé project ló bá dé. So sàmà according to my boss reverend wọ́n máa slash owó yìí so wọ́n wá sọ fún mi pé tó ìbá ti dé kì í ṣe tá a kánjú gbà. Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹta wọ́n ní àjọ jókòó torí mo wà ní disbursement committee, àjọ jókòó àwa tí a fẹ́ tó fẹ́ disburse fún tá a dá wa ní disbursement committee, a jókòó a ṣe calculation, ok iye subscription tó ṣe rèé, ok bó ṣe wá rèé tó fi máa san, tó bá ti san round làwa náà ó ṣe ìjókòó tiwa, a ṣe wo subscription tá a ṣe láàgé by bó ṣe gé lásánwó wa. That is mo ń gba ọ̀rọ̀ ẹnu reverend sọ̀rọ̀ nítorí èmi fẹ́ jẹ́ kó yẹn dé kí n tó sọ pé ọ̀gẹ̀ bọ̀ ẹja prepare mind wa nítorí ọ̀rọ̀ owó lágbára sàṣàmà. Tó bá ti dọ̀rọ̀ owó, ẹni tí àwọn èèyàn respect tẹ́lẹ̀ wọn ò ní respect ẹ̀ mọ́. Tó bá ti rí pé expectation wọn kò meet up pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ, so ẹja sọ báyìí kì í ṣe pé mi mo fẹ́ yọ ẹ lọ́kàn. Fún àwọn àtàwọn ní other platforms ẹja confirm tí mo sọ yìí, there is still this majority sọ pé máa slash but àwọn kan ṣì maintain, but tó bá dé tó bá slash àmọ́ tó bá slash àmọ́, but fún tí reverend sọ láàárọ̀ ìbò ń bá wa sọ, so ó jẹ́ bí ó ṣe jẹ́ lórí pioneer. So a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. So the word ní yes before October 1st owó máa wọlé, because to God be the glory. Àwọn tá à ń retí ti àná náà dé, and they will start today, and they have 4 days to complete the assignment. So that is why people are still insisting that before Wednesday money go drop, but pínpín yẹn yóò wọ October. So adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run fún gbogbo, adúpẹ́ Ọlọ́run fún gbogbo. No matter owó tó bá kàn wá, we are all millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire already. Torí investment wa mo sọ, investment wa ló máa determine if we upgrade to the level of trillionaire, so, or upgrade to the level of billionaire. So ọpẹ́ pàtàkì sí Elédùmarè fún gbogbo tó ń ṣe inú ayọ̀ àti yóò máa ṣe. Mo lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí mo dúpẹ́ lọ gbogbo ojú òní tì wá, mo dúpẹ́ fún faradà, fún forítì, mo dúpẹ́ fún ìfẹ́. Ẹ ṣé sà, ẹ ṣé mà. Ti UAG yẹn general platform ẹ̀rí pé iṣẹ́ mo fẹ́ ṣe àtúntúmọ̀ ẹ̀, Ọlọ́run wà pẹ̀lú Ọlọ́run wà fún alágbára. So nísìn àti gbọ́ pọ́ máa slash ẹ̀ confirm by my boss. So Ọlọ́run wà fún àwọn tó bá ṣe fẹ́ increase lọ́tún wọn lórí ẹ̀fẹ́ wà, ojú òní tì wá o. Ẹ ṣé sà, ẹ ṣé mà, Olúwa ni o.
All right, thank you very much for that expose. We are here, all right? We are going nowhere, and we will get there. I'm just so optimistic that everything is going to work right to our advantage. So, in simple understanding or in English interpretation, the latest development has it that there are new updates concerning the Pioneer Fund disbursement, and the information reaching us is very sensitive. It's actually important that everyone understands the current state of things clearly as it is. Now, the arrival of the key figures from what has been gathered in that message interpretation so far, the team that is involved in handling the fund disbursement, they left Switzerland yesterday, and by calculation of travel time and confirmation, they should have arrived Nigeria by now, according to what he said, the conversation he had with the Reverend, that they have arrived in the country. Now, this shows that the process also is moving fine outside just the, moving from being outside the country to being handled right here in the country. And the arrival signals that work is possibly would have started right now, and that the activities leading to the release of these funds are now ongoing. Then on the subscription and the fund slashing, he also said something about that. The issue was that the discussion is on the size of the funds. It was said that the money available is very large, and the government raised concerns that the funds were too big, just like we know this before. It wasn't new, too big to be released in full without control, and as a result there were discussions about slashing the funds. And this means that whether you subscribe with a high amount or low amount, there will still be reductions, so that everyone should pause their personal calculations for now. The reason is very simple. The final decision will not depend on what individuals are expecting based on their earlier commitment or subscription or assumptions, but rather on the agreement that is reached at the top level. So at first there was resistance to this idea of slashing, but through the intervention, as we know, of former President Olusegun Obasanjo and the former Finance Minister, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, the matter was resolved, and the advice and involvement helped bring everyone to an agreement. So they both insisted that it was better for the funds to be released in a reduced amount than for the whole disbursement to be stopped entirely. In other words, the choice was either to receive a slashed payment or risk not receiving anything at all. So finally, an agreement was reached and the funds would be paid, but they will be reduced. That is the explanation on that. Then there was another explanation on the disbursement committee and the calculations. These are the people to handle the details of how the funds would be shared. You understand? So it was made clear that based on his communication with Reverend, that this would not be a random decision. Instead, there would be a holistic calculations carried out by the committee, and this means that they will consider all the factors, including the number of subscribers, the size of the fund after reduction, and the government's directive, whatever. You understand? So, money matters are always quite so sensitive, and this particular case is even more delicate. According to what he said, he spoke with the Reverend on this matter. There are already clear signs that this assignment must be handled with wisdom and care to avoid any form of confusion. Then he also spoke about the payment timeline, the timeline for expectations on the delivery. On the issue of the timing, he said the Reverend, I think the Reverend is making mention of, or is referring to, might be Reverend Elibo, because that's the only Reverend we've been hearing in this grand ecosystem. If he had said Apostle, would have known that he's talking about the county director, but he kept saying the Reverend. You understand? So he said the Reverend explained that the funds are expected to enter before October 1st. And this means that within the remaining days of September, the funds should arrive at the required accounts. Once this happens, there will be a 4-day period that is given to the committee to finalize their assignments. However, beneficiaries should not expect instant credit alerts according to what was discussed immediately within September. That according to the explanation, even though the funds are expected before the October 1st, the actual crediting into individual accounts will still fall into October. So that this delay is due to the internal calculations, some verifications and processes the committee must complete before releasing the funds. Then so I think that is that about that. What matters, however, right now is that the statements, let it align with information already circulating among stakeholders, which should show consistency and picture where things stand at the moment. So in summary, the key takeaways from every discussion they had was that the team handling the funds has already arrived in Nigeria from Switzerland, according to this information. Then that both high and low subscribers would see their funds reduced, so individual calculations should be paused. Like, okay, this is what I'm expecting, like 240,000 to get you 100 billion. I said this before, so you shouldn't even expect such unrealistic amount in the first place. But then that's that about that. And then that the government considered the funds too large to release in full, but with the involvement of the two capital duos intervention, it was agreed to pay in slashed form rather than cancel it completely. Then the disbursement committee are going to make detailed calculations on how to divide these funds fairly according to what they says. Then the funds are expected to arrive before October 1st, but beneficiaries will likely start seeing credit alerts in October. And finally, I think that's not about that. That's just what they discussed. So at this stage now, what is needed is patience and understanding. The fund is real, the money is real, but it's also delicate. Everyone should be calm and you should wait for official crediting process to begin. The leaders and the committee members are handling the situation under serious pressure, and unnecessary panic or calculations would only create more confusion for you. It's better to prepare wisely for the funds when they finally drop. Since the money will be slashed according to this information, each person must think carefully. You think carefully about how you are going to use these funds when it comes, no matter how big or small. Whether it is in starting a project, doing business, or securing part of it in stable investments like cryptocurrencies, the most important thing is to multiply and sustain the blessing. I'm going to release a comprehensive, submission and VN after this one on what you could do with your pioneer funds, with your grant funds, and how you can convert this fund into cryptocurrencies. Very, very important. Please watch out for this. Immediately after this, I'm going to drop it holistically for us to get all of the vitals in this, because this fund is coming massively, but you need to know how to engage this fund so that you can be a useful steward and custodian of this mass wealth. You understand? So this is the season of transition, and the wait has been so long, but the signs are clear that the journey is almost over with. So let everyone be ready to receive. Let everyone be ready to use it well, and let everyone be ready to make impact that is going to last. Thank you very much. This is Princess. I hope this explains all of you that did not get to understand what they were saying in Yoruba. This explains everything for us in clear terms. Thank you very much. This is Princess It, and we're right about there. Have a nice day.